Hey, we're going to be talking about Whiteout Fiona today because she's an amazing hero. If you don't have her, you should grab her. And if you do have her, you should throw her in this build because in the lead, she ups the crit rating of swords, axes, and scythes by a lot. And in support, it's still a good enough amount to where you don't even need a crit rating perk in some cases. I use her in pretty much every ninja build I showcase on my channel, and today is no different. We're going to be showcasing the Stormblade build that I've shown before. If you've seen that video before, you're in for a treat today and you know it. If you haven't seen it, you should check that out as well because that gets much further into the math of that build. And it also has a spreadsheet associated with it showcasing why we use what we use. But here's the build without any further explanation. Totally rocking out so we can crit more often. Fumble to activate Totally rocking out. Battle Beat to activate Totally rocking out. Normally, we would use Corrosive Strikes because she does a ton of damage. It's a great support perk. But I'm going to be recording an Exploding Death Bomb mission today. And I want to die less. So I'm going to use Bomb Suit for armor. That's just me patting myself. That's not a recommended perk, but you can use it if you also like to not die that often. And Monster Smash is a recommended perk. You want to use her no matter what you're doing, Death Bomb or otherwise, because that life leech scales with the amount of damage your weapon is doing, which this is not a Paleoluna build. We are not just farming attack speed for Paleoluna's buff where the weapon's barely doing anything. No. You're going to be doing a lot with those crit hits causing explosions because you're going to be critting all the time. That life leech will absolutely keep you alive, and it's actually really impressive how well it does. And then Saurian Claws and support, I think, is the lesser option. So for those of you who just watch my videos, hit pause, and then grab the loadout and leave, you're going to get kind of scammed right now because I think Corrosive Strikes will be a lot more useful than Paleoluna in this build, so we're going to go with her. Now, the weapon. I have actually supercharged it since that video because this is one of my favorite loadouts. A lot of my videos in my fun loadouts playlist are really fun for like one video, and then I probably don't run it again. I use a lot of variety, so for a loadout to be used as often as I've used the Stormblade, it needs to really be fun, and I supercharge it because it made sense to me. Double attack speed damage, it can only be energy, damage miss monster bosses, and of course, crit hits cause an explosion. That is the one thing we are farming in today's video. And Archer's also running a similar build with the Steam Thrasher. So if you guys really want that Steam Thrasher video, comment down below. I've gotten the comment a bunch. I've been reluctant, but if you guys want to see it, if I could see a comment down below with over 200 likes for me to use the Steam Thrasher in an upcoming video, I'll do it. All right, I'll finally make it happen. I'll do that for you guys. If you want to see it, thumb up a comment and we'll make it happen. For now, let's see how the Stormblade does. All right, so I'll be avoiding death bombs, but I wonder if the armor helped at all. It can't hurt to be tankier, right? It looks like we're still doing plenty of damage. Once Totally rocking out's active, yeah. Once the ball gets rolling, it is really strong. That's why a big encampment like this is actually easier to deal with than normal like single target enemies. Single target is where this loadout kind of fails. You don't do nearly as much to a single target as you do a crowd because when you are swinging a melee like this, you can actually crit multiple times on multiple targets. So like one swing can hit multiple enemies and each of them individually have a different chance to crit. If you can explode while attacking multiple enemies, it will kill all of those enemies in range. If you can kill all of those enemies in range, you can activate Totally rocking out more often, and you can heal yourself more often, and it's just better. You'll crit more often, you'll do more damage, you'll heal faster. It is way better versus a crowd of enemies. And when you're standing in the storm and taking lots of damage, Arlene Iza is in play to heal you as well. That's why I say that she's surprisingly good, because as you saw, I left that with almost full health. All right, Archer pointed out a smasher for me to demonstrate this exact problem. So against a single target, or at least a couple here, yeah, I got a couple of lucky crits, but you can see it doesn't really do that much. It's going to do more when there are enemies nearby, but it'll do a lot less when it's just me and the smasher. You can see it really struggles. I'm taking a bunch of damage. I'm in the storm, which isn't helping either. There aren't that many enemies around to heal me, and it's overall just a struggle bus. So not the best weapon for single target damage, but for crowds, it excels. All right, one more clip of encampment before we get the mission started. In normal scenarios, this would be scary. Oh no, a bunch of enemies around, I'm scared. But no, it just activates Totally rocking out, heals us in the process, makes everything die a lot more faster, and you're just perfectly fine. You could also not feel scared at all to use your abilities. The abilities on Whiteout Fiona are actually really good. Dragon Slash, Throwing Star, and Smoke Bomb are all super strong. I'm more focused on showcasing the Stormblade today, but I'm going to try not to forget about those during the defense, as this is also sort of a Whiteout Fiona showcase, as she is available in Hit the Road right now, so go grab her while you can. Now, let's do a little bit of trapping. So I want to be able to funnel the enemies towards me. With Exploding Death Bomb, that's not as easy, but I'm still going to do my very best, because I want to have big crowds of enemies. As I've mentioned way too many times in this video, lots of enemies in one spot is very good for me, so I'm just going to try to funnel them towards this area right here, or up here. I'm not going to have that much control. This is going to be a little bit tough, but that's okay. All of my teammates are on the game. on the ball, trying to help us not fail. I don't think there's really that much to do. The enemies are going to be spawning back here, running through this cave perhaps, so we can clean this up so we don't have as many things in the way. I would normally put floor freeze or something like that to stall them all and build them up better, but it's the exploding death bomb, so that would just delay the inevitable. I think that's really all we can do. So now that we got the lay of the land, let's start the mission and get her going. Now, I should mention that we're building out of metal intentionally. We do have metal corrosion. We do see that. That is something we are perfectly fine with, as normal enemies are actually what activates metal corrosion. This is what I'm talking about. Nice little dragon slash instantly gets the totally rocking out active, and we can just get right to murder. And so that is intentional, because normal enemies activate the metal corrosion, and big enemies won't. So smashers, mini bosses, or mist monsters in general are the only things that will activate that, and most normal enemies should be dead by the time they get to our defense. Of course, we are not trapped over here, so it's really not that good of a showcase, but you can imagine if we were trapping normally. This is more of a showcase video. Everybody in the game knows that I'm making a video. Normally, traps would be taking care of the regular enemies. Guys, I can't do anything to the smashers. If you guys want to focus on them, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm going to just let them deal with that, because I'm going to need to focus on the regular targets. Now, as I'm saying, we're not worried about the metal corrosion. We should probably put some traps down. Activating Battle Beat with the traps is actually perfectly fine, and getting Totally Rockin' Out active more often is very good, because I believe I'm recording in a current bugged version of the game where Totally Rockin' Out is not activating every time it should. So it's not reactivating the team perk until it runs out. So it has to run the full 8 seconds of decaying crit chance before it goes away. Technically, it's decaying crit rating. Crit rating works a little weird. I'll link the chart for all the crit chance versus crit rating down below. But this is absolute mayhem. These smashers are just shredding this defense apart, and we're actually holding up pretty well. I'm running out of enemies to kill here, which is severely impacting my ability to heal, and there I go down. All right, I do believe it's high time to get a few more traps down. I'm not really going to use my brain here. We're just going to put down a couple of steel and electric fields out of the way of the death bomb. Get a little dragon slash going in to weaken everything at once. Oh my god. Oh god, the exploding death bomb! I was interrupted by jumping out. I took damage while I was trying to jump and couldn't get to safety. Okay, if somebody can heal me, I can adrenaline rush everybody else. There we go. Oh, Archer's out of range. That's not good. And they're rotating out here, which might be okay. A little dragon slash action is all right. There we go. I'm gonna get ahead of this and just get some traps down. There we go. I'm not gonna block that tire trap just to soften up the enemies. There we go. There we go. That should hopefully stave them off. Get away from that death bomb, because dying is not good. You know, I was hoping the armor perk from what is his name actually? Bomb Squad Kyle? I was hoping that would help me more than it is, but I'm so far not seen any benefit, considering this mission had too little defense. I have to say it once again. This is not a normally trapped mission. Typically, we would put more traps down, but this terrain was not only not very forgiving, but it was also set up for me to do as much damage as I could with the Stormblade. Unfortunately, though, the Stormblade does not perfectly enable me to solo a mission, so it's, as you can see, not going perfectly well. But if we can get some traps down, hopefully we can get some defense in place here. Oh my gosh, I was trying to jump out of here. There we go. Come down here. This is where the enemies are rolling through a lot. We are losing so much health that we might end up getting a second game. If we fail this mission, we'll trap it a lot smoother and hopefully get a better showing of this weapon. All right, having failed the last mission, we came correct. Noah and Jason are each running Nox or Power Base in the lead to get a nice base defense down. I put down a few traps. Most of our spawns are actually on this northeast side, so I put a nice row of tire traps just to take care of that. Lots of ceiling electric fields. We are not looking to fail again. In fact, I'm actually going to lose a little bit of visibility by connecting that, so hopefully the base keeps these walls alive. It's not a serious funnel, but this will at least move the enemies in certain directions. Then we got, again, more electric fields. We are not looking to fail again, and activating Totally Rockin' Out is something I'm happy to do. Got the walls nice and firmly defended here with the base fully maxed out, so let's hopefully actually succeed this mission. And not only is this better trapped, but it's a much more forgiving spawn location, which of course we can't decide, but this will hopefully give me a lot better of a flat area to defend. And with all these enemies out here, wall coming to me right here, this is going to be my favorite spot. So let's just get to it. Let's see this weapon do what it's best at. This is just great. This could be an intro clip for the video, like just to play while I'm talking in the beginning, because this is what I believe is a much better showing of what this weapon's capable of. This is where the weapon really gets its prestige. This is where I really enjoy using this build. I mentioned earlier in the video that there's no setup. I don't need wafers, I don't need coconuts, I just need to stand here here and murder everything as it comes in. You can see my health is even going down, but it's going right back up because of all the enemies coming at me. That is absolutely keeping me in the fight. I'm still useless against smashers, but we got to team it up here with pot shot, which is definitely doing enough. Although if there are a lot of enemies nearby, killing a smasher on the side isn't too bad of a deal. I can drop a smoke bomb right here to take care of the riot husky. Like I said, using the abilities is not bad. I'm obviously trying to showcase the weapon and the hero combo, but the abilities are very strong. So taking good use of them, making good use of them, and taking advantage of them is definitely something you can do. At least it's not a nature season. Last season I was playing was a nature season, and having no energy in my builds was not that satisfying. Although the current rage modifier in Ventures takes away all your energy, so yeah. Easy to get around that by having a hero that gives you energy, but still annoying. I want to see, how well is my health doing? Yeah, these death bombs are doing like a third of my health, maybe a little more, which is definitely an upgrade, because I feel like 2 death bombs would have killed me before the armor. I don't really know for sure. I haven't played with this exact team enough to know exactly. And that's the thing, you know, the different people that I play with changes my overall fort stats by a lot, because different power level people will boost you by differing amounts. So I can't really say exactly how good Bomb Squad Kyle would have been, but I don't know. I'll definitely be doing less damage with him in support, but staying alive is kind of nice. I talked about that in the beginning, though, so if you're looking to do the most damage possible, I advise against him. But you can see, this loadout is absolutely shredding. They barely touched my tire traps here. They only fired 8 times, so I'm definitely happy with this. We got a bunch of teammates dying over here. That's okay. Where are the new enemies spawning? Looks like we got a bunch of throwing thoughts now. They're just sitting back. Here, let me go take care of them. There we go. Take care of that. Do that. Do that. Nice little dragon slash into the spawns, which is great because it gets the attention of these enemies, stops them to turn towards me. I'm gonna fly away from certain death back there, but it kills off all the easy enemies, and it turns the fatties towards me with Totally Rocking Out active so I can just clean them up. I love this build. More enemies down here, just rolling down the hill. Placement is very important. So I placed my tire traps facing up the hill. That way it staggered the enemies backwards. That's true for any placement for the tire traps. Tire traps and floor freeze work that way, where wherever you're facing, they will stagger the opposite direction. So if you want to perma-stall a fatty with a floor freeze, just face the floor freeze away from where you want them to go, and you'll be happy. You can see my health isn't updating in the bottom left when I pick up those fumble footballs. That's that Totally Rocking Out glitch we were talking about earlier. It's only activating at the very end of Totally Rocking Out, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's just to say that this build is doing fantastic with bugged Totally Rocking Out. It's significantly more reliable when the team perk is actually working functionally, which is not saying much because this has already been kicking ass. So it's funny. It's like, hey, you know, all this absolute carnage that you've been enjoying on screen? Yeah, it's actually normally better than that. What? Yeah, that's crazy. So it looks like our spawns have flipped into the storm, and this is where I can really demonstrate that healing power of Aewol-ri. Look at this. I'm standing in the storm, and as long as I avoid those death bombs, I'm basically just alive. It also destroys the beehives. So when you have that explosion activating, that will break any beehives that are on the ground. I can't really illustrate that without any beehives, but they will get instantly cleared away as I'm exploding everything in front of me, which is a really, really nice perk. That means you're not standing on it. There's a beehive and it's gone. You see that? So that means I'm not just standing on beehives. I can actually get a lot more survivability by killing those. With any other normal melee build that's not exploding constantly, those beehives would most certainly kill you. So getting rid of them is a nice advantage. Of course, in this case, I did run out of enemies and eventually died. Back to my favorite spot. This corner is the dream position. Okay, I'm gonna adrenaline rush just to get back up to full health. There we go. Okay, yeah, propane, storm, beehives, nurses don't really matter, but exploding death bomb, this is a very hostile location. Aewol-ri and Bomb Squad Kyle are just working together. I cannot believe I'm alive. As mentioned, with a normal melee build, you would be so dead right now. I praise the hell out of coconuts, but they're not invincible. Like, you would need to be eating coconuts constantly to stay alive in this madness. And I'm running out of enemies, so I'm almost gonna die, but I just got a crowd of enemies in front of me right when I was about to die. Back up to full health. What do we got? Mini boss right on me. Okay, there we go.
No, the entire defense was up.
Okay. Well, I got a mini boss on me down here in front of a crowd of enemies, so I might try to take it out. I'm gonna crawl with them. I'm just following my horde of victims. All right, here we go. I'm on it. I'm on it. So single target's not that impressive, but yeah. When he was with the crowd of enemies, I would have done a lot more. But that damage pulse plus exploding death bomb is just insta killing me. A discharger's not gonna be the best tool for that job, actually, because the discharger does more damage to bigger enemies, so a smasher is like the only kind of mini boss you want to use a discharger against.
You gotta get him out of there as soon as possible. He's damage pulsing.
Yep. Potshot or Wrath would be good. So another bug that's in the game and detrimental to its the game is the fact that damage pulse affects Defenses. So as we're doing damage and the mini-boss is damage pulsing, that is not just damaging us, but it's damaging the objective's health. It should not be doing that. It's an absolute bug. If we fail this mission, I'm not going to blame us at all because that glitch is really annoying. Obviously, I'm running a build that doesn't do too great against single targets, so I can't help as much. And the death bomb means I need to constantly be moving out of the way. Smashers are shredding apart our defense. I'm going to get this right here. I just want to reinforce all of our traps before they go away. There we go. Yep, just want to make sure they don't go anywhere. I don't know what to do right now. I think we're going to fail another mission, but I don't think this one's our fault. This seems unfair. Who cares about Whiteout Fiona? Are we going to survive this mission? Oh no. I think I'd have to stop using the Stormblade because this build is not suited for the madness in front of me. Okay, yep, stay away from him. Dragon Slash. We have a teammate in the middle just auto building. Is that you, Archer? Is that something else? I can't see the username. He's just spinning in circles.
The super annoying fire zappers just hit me once and I die in 2 seconds.
Yeah, this is... We're both using builds that are not suited for this. Oh, God.
Oh, I switched to Pharah.
Yeah, oh, I just jumped off the map, so I'm my own worst enemy right now. This is embarrassing. Yep, glitched mini-boss failed us the mission. So look at that! A fun 160 with not one but 2 failed missions. One of those was definitely our fault. The second one, I'm going to blame the glitchiness of the game on that, but we saw what we needed to. This build is absolutely insane. You guys should absolutely try it out. I hope you have better luck in your mission. Subscribe if you're new. Twitch link down below if you ever want to be here for a live recording. It's pretty fun to hang out with me on stream, I think so. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a nice day. And then...